the clapping for the hump day. Everybody gotta love a good hump day. So
don't do no humping today.
What was that?
I said don't do no humping today though. It's just
don't do no humping on hump day. It's just hump day.
Yeah, just the midpoint of the week. That's what we talking about.
That is, so you're starting already. But
no, I'm just saying I don't want to get canceled. We talking about over the middle of the week.
Right. Okay, right. Let me clarify. We're talking about the hump day being the week. Hump day in the week. Okay, let me clarify for the YouTube family. Yeah, but
we don't want no problems, man. We want no smoke.
We want zero problems. So yeah, so I am excited to be here for our first wind down with Worldwide Media 101 TV. And I'm excited to have you as my co-host. I think that you and I always it's always a good time when we're together and we chat and chop it up. So I'm excited to see the magic actually play out in this forum. And so
God did it right now, man.
That's right. That's right. So let's get into some of these topics. Guys, feel free to comment. We can see your comments and we will respond. What do you think about the Alabama Riverboat Brawl?
Man, bro. I don't know. I you know what? I don't know. I feel like, is of course I'm a black man, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm a black man. So I like, we lose so much in the news and, and so many things we feel like should go our way and it don't be going our way. And I just feel like, and everybody keeps saying, oh, I don't condone violence, but they got what they deserve. I'm not even gonna say I don't condone violence because some people need to get paws put on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way it is. So, but I don't know. I honestly have mixed. I have mixed emotions for a few different reasons. But once that adrenaline is running and you get started, I mean, sometimes you just got to slap somebody out. You know what I'm saying? It just. I understand the dude from the beginning that threw his hat. I mean, he defended himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He defended himself. So. But I think the stuff with the chairs was like, wow, the stuff with the chairs
was a good social media day. Like I don't think I got much work done. There was a lot of laughs, and I think, but you know what I do like about that though? I like the fact that even though African Americans were outraged, right? We found humor in it. Yeah, found it comical, right? So I think that anytime we take things lightheartedly, I think that that's a great thing. So it wasn't as if, we were outraged and now we're like, okay, let's boycott, let's riot, let's, that kind of stuff. And so that I was happy to see. We actually, found humor in it. And so I was happy about that. But I thought that the memes were hilarious.
Oh, I was dying. Like, bro, at first I was like, because you start seeing the memes and people gotta overdo it. But then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? Let's overdo it. I need to see some more. You know what I'm saying? I seen one of my friends that posted, oh, can we be done with the Facebook memes by Friday? I'm like, bro, just you cut your computer off. Like, we having fun over here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody die. My man didn't get choked out. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like it was an old school brawl, man. Ain't that what they said we used to do back in the day?
Yeah.
We didn't used to carry guns. We would use our fists. Okay. That was an old school brawl. Nobody got choked out. Ain't nobody suing no police officers. We ain't going against the blue. It was just people out there sticking up for their coworker.
Yeah.
You've been seeing a lot. I mean, I don't know if I seen the young lady at the Burger King. I don't know where they be at, but got high and mighty, went behind the counter, and she got banged out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Medea got everybody thinking that they big and bad, and they gonna up the mag on. I don't know who it is that got certain people thinking that they're super tough, but you got consequences.
Yeah, that's I mean, it gave me that "Nuck If You Buck," right? So I think the new "Nuck If You Buck" anthem should be a hat. When that song comes on, I think the new "Nuck If You Buck" anthem should be somebody throwing up a hat and people bringing out chairs and just Nuck if you buck. You know what I'm saying? So it was between, I was torn between Nuck if you buck and WWE SmackDown, right? Like that's what it was given. It was given those vibes. But I think that in a world of where our people very seldom stand together, although it was, laying of hands, right? It was great to see us stand together for something and for someone other than ourselves. And so to see that united front, I think was great as well. But yeah, I was like, oh my God.
I don't think it started off like what it ended up. You know what I mean? I think, just looking at it, a couple of the dudes, was the Caucasian males they was kind of crumped at first. It was just dude by himself because it looked like one of the workers had came out trying to break it up.
Yeah,
they hit him. He like, man, what's going on? Like, and then, I think when the second black guy got there, he was on some, hey man, y'all calm down. He was trying to break it up too. Like,
right.
But when my homie, the shark, once he jumped in the water and the boat docked, it was curtains after that. Like whatever that space in time, whatever happened in that space and time, everybody was ready.
It was up and it was stuck. And so I didn't and that's a great point. And I did pick that out too when I watched it. The first black guy that ran down was actually trying to break it up or say, hey, wait a minute, let them fight one-on-one. It's not going to be everybody jumping on this one guy. Y'all back up, and if it's a fight, let it be a fair fight. Let it be one-on-one. And that's what I kind of got from it. And then the guy even pushed a teenage guy who was a crew worker.
Yeah,
that's trying to help.
Exactly. So I think that they was on some guerrilla stuff at first.
Yeah.
Like I know they in the media now with some, woe is me, but dude was on some guerrilla stuff for a minute when it was the one little boy, the one first worker, and then you had the one black guy that was on the ground. And then when they was just squabbling and dude came out of nowhere with the shark punt or whatever it was, knocked him to the ground, like they was on some guerrilla stuff, like who next? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm telling you, all I heard was Nuck if you book.
Yeah, they was on some who's next into the boat docks. And then
absolutely
different tune
that part. That part.
Goldberg just tackling people at first. Then when the boat dock, they was on some, hey man, we don't want any trouble. You know what I'm saying?
We don't want those problems. But I was wondering though, do you think that the young guy's parents are going to sue the man that put his hands on the teenager? Because
I think to a certain extent, bro. Like, first of all, you said what?
The young man was a minor, so I'm wondering if there's going to be additional ramifications for the older guy shoving the minor. I mean, clearly, all he was doing was trying to push them back from his coworker. He didn't hit anybody. He didn't do any of that. And then the guy just immediately turned around, shoved him, and punched him.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, you could clearly see. First it was just like some, hey man, y'all some, civilians, for the lack of a better word. We work here. We got to get the boat in here. What's going on? First, it was just some, workers just dealing with the people at the dock. But it slowly became white versus black real fast.
It did.
It became white versus black really, really quickly for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know the whole backstory, but I think just for the simple fact that they were in the wrong, I think you gotta sue because y'all was in the wrong. Like we ain't picking on y'all, we ain't discriminating like this. Y'all have to move.
Right.
This is what it looks like. I mean, I'm sure more will come out as the days go by, but it looks like, bro, you're in the way and you won't move. That's what it looks like. So you in the wrong. If it's me, absolutely, because they in the wrong. Like it ain't no he said, she said. We need to get out here. Like we do this every day, all day. And y'all just really full of that, y'all full of that. But
they were on one.
Whatever y'all take, y'all don't want out on the wall.
They were on one, clearly. And I did. So you often see the aftermath, you see the fight and then the aftermath, but very seldom do you see what happened or what transpired prior to that. But I did see the video, and I did a video on what happened prior to that, and so. the whole thing to me was crazy. They asked them not to park the boat there,
right,
when they did it, and so they still did it. And then the dinner cruise of the riverboat, when they got back and they're ready to dock, you're still there and you're refusing to move. And so clearly you can see the people across the water in this riverboat that are trapped and stuck on this riverboat until you move this boat. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, you can look across the water and clearly you can see these people on this boat. Get in there and move it. Like, what was, I didn't understand the back and forth. And so even before the guy, the white guy hit him, he had talked to about 6-7 people about moving this boat. Why? Why do we have to do all that? He's the crew. He's telling you to move it. This is not like you're just hearing this. They said that before you parked it there, but you did it, docked it there. You did it anyway. So why does it have to be all this extra conversation? Like, I didn't get that part.
But I think it hits on a deeper. I think it hits on a deeper nerve, because I feel like as a whole, as Americans, I got to use my word, but as Americans, I'm talking about all of us, everybody that's here. I feel like as Americans, we all have a problem with authority. We don't want nobody telling us nothing, bro. It can be the police, the judge, the constable. Like, I think Americans genuinely have a problem with authority. I don't care who it is, the banker. I think, because even when you telling somebody the right thing to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, even they don't even want you to tell them. It's something as easy as the light turned green. Hey, I'm gonna just hit my horn a little bit. Bro, the light is green. Like, let's go. But you rather get out. Now you want to fight. When we all know in this country,
the light is green.
That the light is green. But that be the smoke that people be on. I just feel like, in my opinion, as Americans, I feel like we just got a problem with authority. Everybody. I feel like everybody does.
I agree with that to an extent. Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. And I think that it's the whole, I have the right to fill in the blank.
Yes.
It's my right to whatever that fill in the blank is. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But I'm
glad that it became what it was, because had there not been anybody taping that, this probably would have been a whole different story. And that's unfortunate that we have to be that way. But if they ain't taping, at that point, hey, dude came up, harassed me. I told him I would move. He didn't listen, and he started hitting me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could have been a whole different story. And without those videos, man, I think, we could have been marching. You know what I'm saying? We could have been marching. You know what I'm saying?
Now I don't mean to laugh, but that's true. If that was not videoed, we may have been marching. And I don't know. Do you think that marching is even helping?
You know what I think it is
nowadays?
I don't think nothing is doing what it used to do.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I'm not gonna go too deep on that, but I don't think nothing is doing what it used to do. I don't think nothing stands for what it used to stand for. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I ain't trying to get political or nothing like that. And we had a black president and Barack Obama and his family, and people can say what he did or didn't do. He was a black president, but he wasn't like the Jesse Jackson version back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't bring that to the White House. He didn't bring like the Al Sharpton, he didn't bring, but he was still there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He made it. And there's still people in place though, that to your point, there's still people in place though, even if Barack wouldn't, and so a lot of people be like, well, yeah, Barack was in there and he didn't do that. I don't know what they thought he was going to do. There's still people, he still has to, it has to go to vote. He can say, hey, I want to paint the White House black. It has to go to a vote. So I don't understand why there was so much pressure on or so much demand on what people expected him to do when it still had to go to a vote. Prime example, look at President Biden wanting to cancel $40,000 or $20,000 of student loan debt. It had to go to a vote. And when it got to the certain votes, then they, they vetoed it. They, it didn't pass. And so there's was only so much Barack was going to do. I think that him just making it to the White House is all I was happy about. I'm like, hey, he just made it. Now, I don't know that I necessarily expected him to do a whole lot while he was in there. I didn't.
I think that the people that feel that way, that just lets you know how out of touch they are with politics. The people that felt like he was going to go in there and be able to do the stuff that, quote unquote, we wanted him to do, or however he did, and I mean, I think those are people that are just out of touch with what goes on in politics. I mean, because like you said, Biden has his struggles too, and Trump had his struggles. Like it's a fight.
He did.
It's a pull, and it's really, when you break it all down, it's really who can be the most pettiest is who gonna win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who can out petty who? Because that's who's gonna take home the gold every time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what Eric May say, well, you go low, I go lower. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's what it is in the F there. But I just think that, so to answer your question about the marching, I think it does show
unity
and a little bit of attitude. You know what I mean? And I think because I've been like that. At different jobs and different situations where, I may not be able to get the satisfaction that I want out of it, but but I'm still gonna speak on it. You still gonna hear me. It may not change nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
that makes sense.
Yeah,
just to have your presence known, and your voice heard. So that makes sense. Because we definitely, like you said, it's not the 60s, and so marching does not have that effect anymore. But I was just happy to see, the people coming together on, I'm like, now, although they came together to lay on of hands, and I'm a preacher's kid, so I like some good laying on of hands. Now, I grew up with laying on of hands.
I'm a preacher kid too. And
I know,
listen, my dad pack a pistol, you heard me? So he ain't going nowhere. He got the word of God. Look, we call it the word of God for a reason. He take it everywhere. Trust me.
Hey, so he taking Jesus and the steel.
Yeah,
so
everywhere. Let's go.
Everywhere he goes. But that is something though. You do have to do that nowadays. But I thought that after seeing the beginning of that Alabama Riverboat Brawl, and then I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what happened. Because when you don't see the beginning, you have a tendency to fill in the in-betweens, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think about, I saw yesterday or a couple of days ago that Tory Lanez has now gotten 10 years for the Meg Thee Stallion shooting. I will say, and I'm pro women. Well, I don't know if I'm all the way pro women, but I'm just pro right? But I saw that he got 10 years. I was shocked by that. I did not think, because what it was looking like is that they did not have enough evidence on him for him to, get like real time. So I was thinking, at best, they'll send him back to Canada. I think he's from Canada. They'll send him back, and, he can't come back to the United States. They'll ban him. I didn't see that whole 10 years coming.
This is the thing. Man, we could really unpack this all night. We don't have time. You know how my mind works. We don't have time to unpack. Right. The first of all, and I have people that to this day will just assume that I have so many secrets, but I am just an advocate.
You probably do. Knowing you probably do have a lot of secrets.
Really? We doing this? So. We doing? You know what?
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't want me to do it live.
We're going to talk later about this. Anyway, so if I have any, allegedly, I got a lot of secrets, but I am just a firm believer in keeping private things private.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You keep private things private, for one. For two, and as a man, I think, and I read a little bit about, what happened, what was said, and, what went on, and people are saying whatever, he didn't do it, whatever, all of that stuff. That's fine. I'm not even going to get on that, because I think it's a bigger issue here. You know, it's a bigger issue here. And I feel like I can't be with a woman that I might maybe have to shoot. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. Like, that's number one. If you talking to somebody and you don't know if you might have to shoot them one day, like, bro, come on. Erase it.
That does make sense.
Now, don't get me wrong. Her name's Stallion for a reason. I've seen the pictures.
Right.
She had the Astros or wherever she was, a Giants game, and she threw the pitch and turned around, and she had the broccoli curls hanging down. I was just like, woo, okay, I see what it is. But at the same time, like, I think that whatever happened, whatever that confrontation, like, I think it was something about either she was jealous or super jealous about something, and he was talking to somebody, whatever happened, I don't know. But I think as men, you gotta not get sucked into that emotion to where I gotta now prove myself in front of all these people that I'm a boss. You know what I'm saying? Dude already like 4'1", so we know you got issues already. You know what I'm saying?
You say this man was, you know what?
Come on, dude. He's short. He's short. Like, for real.
He's not George Jefferson short.
He might as well be. She a stallion. He might as well be.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. In that regard.
Yeah. So we already know you on some little man. Like, you got the little man energy. You know, you got the tattoos, but technically you're a singer. You know, you're an R&B singer. So, I mean, you don't never know what be going through these people's head. All I'm saying is that I can't. If I ever think to myself, like, man, I'm going to have to slap her or I'm going to have to shoot her, I'm going to just start backing up. Like, it's time for me to back up because you can't win in that energy. And so you being in limelight, haven't even been said you shot this woman. Like, it's too much. It's too much of that going on right now. And a Barbie movie just came out. Homie, you lucky you didn't get 20 years, man. Everybody on their feminine energy right now.
Because of the Barbie movie?
Because of the Barbie movie. Look, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, all of them just got they run the world right now. You can't shoot no woman right now. You can't shoot no woman right now. No.
I agree with you though. I think, especially as men, right? Because, and as a woman, I'm saying this because you see more men who are charged with domestic violence than women, right? And so if there is a situation or whomever you're with, you're seeing that it may lead you to get to that point, then I do believe as a man that you guys do need to kind of maybe go a different route. Because let's be honest, those type of situations show themselves before they get to the point of getting physical. Absolutely. And so that's where you have to use some type of intellect and be like, you know what, I have a lot to lose. And if I don't, do A, B, C, D, then, I'm going to get caught up. And so I do agree with you on that because there's a high probability as a man, if you dealing with somebody that's, you're going back and forth, you're gonna catch a domestic violence charge or whatever. Or you may turn out like Tory Lanez and get a 10-year bid or more, because then when he's looking at like 30 years, he was looking at a lot of years.
It was a lot. It just depends on where did they end up saying? Where did he live? Does he live in New York?
He's from Canada, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So I think it was kind of like based on where he was at too. And maybe, they'll go back and try. Like I said, I read up on it when it first happened, but towards the end, I was just like, because I felt like at first, didn't they they dropped the charges or something, and then somebody else picked him up or something weird had happened. I thought he was okay, honestly. I thought he was gonna be good, and then he wasn't. And and you know me, I am a victim blamer. Like this is your fault all the way. But I think in this case, dude, he gotta take ownership.
He got a raw deal.
Because I ain't like, why you pulling a gun on your chick, man, at all? Like,
just
I'm not getting into a scuffle or whatever, but
just a mere fact that I just think that I agree with you that in today's day and time, as men, you guys need to be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. Because the police show up on the scene, they're probably not going to arrest me. They're going to go arrest you. You know what I'm saying? And then because I'm 5'2", right? And then you're what,
6'3"?
I was going to say 6'3", 6'4". So I'm 5'2". So if something went down like that between you and I, they're not coming to me. They're coming to you, and they're going to lock you up, right? And you're going straight to jail. You're getting a free ride to jail. So I do think that as men, that you need to think, you know, that you need to think. I was going to say something else. You need to think with the right part, right? I'll say it that way. You need to think with the right part, and because you are putting yourself in a trick bag. Yeah, I hope I mean, who knows? Maybe he can get a new lawyer and maybe they can fight it. But I did not see him getting 10 years. I thought that they probably were going to deport him and say, okay, you know, you can't come back to the United States. That kind of thing. I didn't think he was going to get 10 years. But now having and kind of where you already went, what does that now do for men? Knowing that something like this has now happened to Tory, and even though he's now I guess he's the poster child, right?
Definitely.
So he's the poster child, the blueprint. So for somebody else to say, oh, this guy shot me, and now they're doing time. So now that, because you got to look at, he was in the public eye, he was a public figure, and if it was so easy to get him, it's gone, in my opinion, it would be even easier to get the average man.
Man, I just feel like you do, but again, like I say, we put ourselves in these predicaments because you know, I mean, you gotta feel that, man. I've been real big on energy probably like the last maybe 3-4 years. Like I knew nothing about it like my first 38, 37 years of life. You know what I'm saying? And I just recently started getting with feeling energy. And you know, you got to step back because you women can suck you into so much of their emotion, and if you don't watch it, you're gonna be sucked in. Like you will be sucked into the emotion.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you you gonna have to take a step back, and you got to just make a mental note. Like yeah, like I remember we was talking about the dude that got shot. His girl shot him on Facebook Live or whatever.
Yeah.
He was talking big. Oh, you ain't gonna shoot. You ain't. She shot him. He's like, oh, you shot me. Yeah, bro, she shot you. Like, I didn't feel sorry for him at all. Like, I made that post that day. If you were a woman and you don't know if she'll shoot you, shame on you. Because I can rattle off at least 3 women that I've dealt with that they would shoot me. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So do I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to get into what you did that made you think that. But you know, I won't do that.
I'm harmless. You know this. I don't do that.
I won't. Yeah, right. You come off as harmless, right? But that is, even though that's funny though, but isn't it weird that you'd have to tell somebody if this person looks like they'll put their hands on you, put their feet on you, shoot you, stab you, rob you, whatever the case may be, you know, you need to take note of that. I think that's weird that you have to tell, especially grown folks, that. I mean, you know, exercise, a little bit of common sense goes a long way.
I feel like that's life right now, because you're dealing with so many people, and I said all the time, like it's a lot of people walking around that need to be in a mental hospital or at least getting help with their mind.
Yeah.
And they packaged up with yoga pants. You know what I'm saying? They got the yoga pants on and the, you know,
yoga pants.
They got the yoga pants and the hair hanging down, and they got everything in the right spot, because nowadays you can get everything in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? So you tend to stick with somebody longer than you should. You know what I'm saying? Them flags done wore out. Them flags done. There's new flags up now, and you're not paying attention. So I just think, especially with men, because we're visual. So we see a gorgeous young lady, we don't care really what she has, and that's why I'm here. That's why God put me here, so I can take off those binoculars, and you can see what you're dealing with, homeboy. You're welcome.
Okay, so that's your whole purpose in life.
That's my whole
okay. Well, you know, and yeah, okay.
It is. I'm here I'm like the equalizer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm here to bring the middle back. Let's dial it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to my cousin Mac a few minutes ago, and we was just saying, like, bro, we get blamed for everything. The man gets blamed for everything. I'm ready to dial it on back a little bit, and let's do some middle ground blaming in there somewhere. It's both our fault. Can we at least say that?
I believe so. I think I'm probably a different breed. I'm pro woman, but that does not mean that I always agree with the women. Especially like in relationships and things of that nature, because I do agree with that. And I'm somebody who take accountability for my stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So if something happens, the first person I look at is me. I turn the tables and say, okay, what did you do in the situation? Could you have done something differently? And even though the man wronged me, clearly, I still look at, okay, could you have done anything differently? Is there anything that you may have done that contributed to that? Like, for example, my ex-husband was a cheater. And so for me, even though I didn't make you cheat, but you know what I'm saying? I took accountability to say, okay, what could I have done differently? Were there any things that I was doing that, you know what I'm saying, that may have contributed? And so I think that it all comes down to accountability. You know,
you went there on the first show.
I went there, but now we're not going. No, now that I just touched on that
first show.
I just touched on that, but you know, we got a lot to unpack. Listen, that's a different episode. We're not going there yet. That is but I do agree. I said all that to say that I do agree that oftentimes the men do get blamed for a lot of what's taking place in the relationships. And not too many women are standing 10 toes down and taking accountability for whatever their part may have been. Yeah, whether even if it's a small part, you know, because we all played a part.
All played a part, and you know, is you know, but I think that, well, first of all, I already knew you was like that, and I can already tell just because of that one word that's back behind you, right there on the wall. I can tell that you take accountability, because you can only be a goal-oriented person. You can only take accountability when you goal-oriented, because you have to take full ownership of everything, because you know that you can change it. Right. I tell my son that all the time. I'm like, bro, like if you look in the mirror and you realize what you did that was wrong, you can fix it. But as long as you keep trying to blame everybody else, you know, the coach, the teacher, all these people, man, they don't care. Like, you're gonna be just out the school and going like the next people. So I think as a whole, if we can understand how to be like, boom, like step back and say, hey, you know, this is what I did, and take ownership of it, and then you know you go from there. But very few people gonna do that. So you just
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that. That's why I say I'm kind of a rare breed, because I am probably my own worst critic, because I want to be in any situation, right? I want to walk away a better version of myself. And so whether that's business, personal, whatever it is. And so I have the tendency of saying, okay, what could you have done differently, or what could you have done better in this situation? And I do that all the time. And so again, it's about growth. It's about accountability. And especially if you're going to get in another relationship. That's why a lot of those, and I'm not unpacking that either. Don't you start. I'm not unpacking that either. We're gonna get there, but not in the first episode.
Hey, you ready? Listen, hey.
I'm coming out with the big punches. I'm coming out with the uppercuts. No,
this is your world. This is your world. What the old players you say? This is your world. I'm
just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, but yeah.
Your name on the marquee. Ain't nobody coming to see me.
But I think but that's true though, because a lot of times people even and that's why a lot of these relationships don't work, because you didn't do the work between the one that didn't work and the new one. And in doing the work is about taking accountability. Accountability for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And nobody is off the table. Nobody is perfect. And again, and now if I can say that somebody that was a cheater, that I took accountability for my part, even though I didn't, you know, make him do anything, that's deep. It's about accountability. But it led me to have an awesome next relationship because I unpacked all the stuff. I did the work in between. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could have done this differently, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So yeah, oftentimes it's about accountabilities. So, but no, we won't go there yet. We will go there, but not yet. So speaking about what were you saying?
I said I don't have nothing to say. I that's just I'm good. I don't really. I'm
You're done. Okay, you mute now. And this is a topic that you and I have talked about quite a bit, and I've even asked people, in relationships, right? Ooh. Do you believe? Now I am going there with this one. Do you believe that in the 50-50 rule, where whether that's bills, whether that's relationships, whether that's whatever, especially in today's day and time. Now, back in the day, in the 60s and the 50s and the whatever, then yes, the man was paying and doing everything. Because let's be honest, the woman stayed at home with the 20 kids. They grew their food, so they weren't eating out all the time. So food was cheaper. They didn't live, you know, luxurious lives like we do now, where everybody in the house got a car and that kind of stuff. They probably had one car. And so, you know, back then, in those days, it was easier to let the man do everything. But now in today's day and time, it takes two, in my opinion. And so I always look at it, and again, like I said, I'm a woman, but a lot of my viewpoints are a little differently than what a lot of women around me think. But I base that on just my values and just me. But I feel like in order to get to a certain level in life, I am not going to kill the man, make him work hard. I'm sitting at home, I'm not doing anything, but I want the moon, the stars, and the suns, and the rainbows, and all of that stuff. And then I'm going to complain when he can't provide it, but all I'm doing is sitting at home and I'm not contributing. So I always tell people, I like to help bring home the bacon, not necessarily put it in the pan. So I'm the type of female, and my husband, he's deceased now. He's been deceased 2 years now. But for me, I'm that type woman that I'm gonna get in the trenches. If we say we want this, whatever, we're gonna get it together. Let's get it. Let's go. Those are goals. Those are not just my goals. Those are the family's goals. And so whatever I can do to help assist to get to that goal, that's what I'm gonna do. And a lot of times it's about bringing home the bacon, the money, that cheddar. You know what I'm saying? The Nero, the Benjamins, the whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? So I think that
turkey, baby, bring that turkey home.
That bread, bring that. So I think that, in my opinion, and just and you know, I'm a little seasoned age-wise, right? So I've seen a lot of stuff, but in my opinion, that is definitely something that I've seen, and I'm like, say what now? So you want this man to buy you the $100,000 car? You want him to put you in a $500,000 house? You want him to buy you Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, whatever?
Kids.
Huh?
I said 3 kids. Don't forget about the kids.
Oh yeah, and then you got all these kids, and so my thing is that realistic? How do you feel about that?
Man, again, we could be here all night. But okay, so first of all, I'm probably about to talk in a lot of different circles. So first thing I got to say is that when you say 50-50, you got to put it in context. I think that's what a lot of women get offended by straight out the gate. Context, you know what I'm saying? And so I am a firm believer that as men, we have no game. First of all, as a whole, we have no game. We don't. I see it all the time. Like, we out the club, you make a mistake and drop a wad of money so everybody can see, bro, you a clown. You know what I'm saying? You got on 6 necklaces, you know, but you work at the car wash. So what do you do? Are you a rapper? Are you like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? So there's an identity there that you want to portray and you know, you got to sell it, because if you don't sell it like you a boss or you a rapper, you feel like you're not getting that in return. And I mean that for the younger generation, because they're the ones that's really making it bad. The younger men, to me, are making it bad. You know, they refuse to grow up, to even look like an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like just look like a young man. You know, like at some point you got to put your pants up. At some point, like you can't go to you got kids, you can't go to the PTA meetings, and you can't go meet or work office. You can't go to the work party with your pants around your ankles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like get you a grown man outfit. You know, so but I think starting off, we can't feel it. You know, first of all, like I said, we have no game. We gonna walk up to a girl in the bar. Hey, how you doing today? You know, let me get you a drink. Straight out the gate, we straight out the gate paying for stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We straight out the gate paying. I'll say whatever I want to say. If I'm out and I'm trying to talk to a young lady, whatever comes to mind, I don't really, because if she like you, she like you. That I'm a firm believer. If she likes you, she like you. If she don't, she don't. You're not going to be able to change that. We talked about that too. So when I say 50-50, it's like, hey, and I get it. The women are saying, hey, if you ask me out, you know what I'm saying, you should pay. You know what I mean? So, and to a certain extent, I understand that. But the problem is with that is that most women will go out with you and not like you. And that is the issue. That's the issue I have with it. You know how many times I've been out and dudes are just buying this chick drinks after drink after drink. And she'll come to me like, man, you like the only dude in here I'll talk to. You ain't thirsty. Boom. She give me her number. He done spent $85 on her. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really making a difference in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think one way to weed out a lot of the BS is to be like, hey, you know, the 50-50 rule. Now, I preach that because I speak for the every man, and I feel like most of us are clowns. That's just the way I feel. I feel like most of us are clowns. And so, but you know, I already know. First of all, I'm not taking you to get a drink on the first date anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we need to stop doing that. Like stop taking when you take a young lady out that you're really interested, stop taking her, stop offering the steakhouse and stop offering you know what I'm saying? Like stop offering all of that. You know, go do something simple. You know, go take you a walk in the park. Go talk. You might find out she an airhead. You might find out she's rude. She ain't even paying attention to you. She on her phone. She, you know, whatever the case may be. Like it's you better off to me going to try to grab some coffee. And even if you are paying for the coffee, what you gonna pay? $18? You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing. Because it's a mental thing at the end of the day. Like if me messing with this person, if that has to only do with my money, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a problem. Like if you only here for money, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
So when I say 50-50 is more of a so us men as suckers don't get suckered because we tend to be suckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you ugly. This woman would not do anything for you, but you not only gonna buy her a drink, you're gonna buy all 4 of her friends a drink. You know what I'm saying? If I'm out and I'm chilling and the chick I'm with, like, hey, can you buy all my friends a drink? Hold on, man. Like, hold on. Like, what they man? What I'm saying, you have women that are that bold, and if you're not strong enough and secure enough as a man, you will be doing stuff like that. You will be tricking money. And I don't care what nobody say. Whoever said it, T.I., any of them, it's tricking even if you got it. Because she don't like it. So you still tricking. You might as well be at the strip club.
Yeah.
You know, so
and I've seen people do that though. They buy the woman. People have even done that with me. You'll buy everybody. What you drinking? Oh, what somebody's with you? What they drinking? You know what I'm saying? But and you're right. So I had to smile because I've done it, and I know good and well I don't like the person, but it's free.
It's free, and I'm not downing the women because again, like I say, you know. Normally, I think it's your fault, but in this case,
it's your fault.
It's our fault. Like, bro, you got to stop pulling out the money. I've had plenty of just straight up just conversations. Like, bro, I was out with my homie one day. I kid you not. Out with the homie one night. Boom, he out. We see some girls. He's like, man, you know, I said, all right, cool. So, you know, I go in first. because I'm me, you know what I'm saying? So I go in first, you know. And so come to find out, they like a couple, like they into each other. He like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy y'all some drinks. I said, bro, you can't buy. We're not buying them no drinks. He like, oh man, you don't understand. No, we good. It's okay. I said, bro, they like each other. Like you don't. This is not gonna happen. And so you have that where it gets caught. You get caught up in it if you don't. It's just like vetting a customer.
Yeah.
You know, we say that all the time. Some customers I don't want to work with. I mean, some customers can't handle me working. You know what I'm saying? What does that say? It's problems because men don't have money. It's not a problem.
Yeah, she said the text Max says it's a problem because men don't have money. It's not a problem to the men with Ferrari money. Now, I do agree with that too. I think that because they have more money to, you know, spend, right? So I do think that they're probably not. I think, well, they have more to spend in terms of they know what they're going to spend, in my opinion.
Okay, so that's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point. She was cute too. But listen, so what happens is that me saying, hey, you only complaining because you ain't got the money. That's like picture this. We go out and you say, okay, you know what? No hookups. That's just like me. That's just like you telling me no hookups. And I say, you know what? She don't want to give me none because she a man. Yeah, she was born a man. That's what the real problem is. You see how stupid that sounds? You see how stupid that sounds? Like I assume because you don't want to give me none, that means you ain't got one. You understand?
Oh, okay. So you're saying basically
it's stupid. So if you saying I don't have the money is the reason why I'm complaining. No, that's not okay. So if that's the case, you only won't sleep with me because you was born a man and you got a pair of golf clubs down there, and you don't want me to find out.
That analogy, the analogy, although effective, was crazy. But
yeah, but it works though.
Yeah,
right?
I do think I see where you're going with that. You're saying that just because someone doesn't spend it doesn't mean that they don't have it, is the point.
That doesn't mean that they don't have it, bro. And
now I do agree with that, but I also agree with what she said too. So I agree with both points. I agree with your point of just because a man is not spending it does not mean that he doesn't have it. I agree with that. But I also agree with her point of the men that do have it tend to spend it more. And they're not really, you know.
They tend to have to spend it more. So we back at square one. You have no game. So now I'm flashing money. And you only hear it because I bought the section, because the drinks is free, because you know this is my yacht. You only hear him, you bought all your friends because it's my yacht. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you start getting
into that whole I gotta buy.
It gets murky. It gets murky because you end up being used so much, and you realize, and that's why a lot of these dudes with money be snapping, because it's like, dude, you only know you being used for your money. So now it's like you getting aggressive and stuff like that, and you putting your hands on females, and that's what you see a lot in the because I think, in my opinion, is that whole situation with Lil Baby, and when him and his girl got into it. Him and his, I think it was his baby mama, whatever. I'm like, dude, in no other country would you be able to get a woman that fine unless you have money. So that's
now I do see that a lot. I see that a lot.
So now you upset because she ain't really respecting you.
Yeah.
But you done did, man. Let me tell you how weird some women, not all women, some women.
Choose your words wisely.
Choose them wisely. This is number one. I'm trying to choose them wisely. But sometimes some of these younger women, when you give them everything that they want, they don't respect you. They don't respect. They rather have a thug that's knocking them upside the head.
Yeah.
You too nice. We've seen it years ago. What the Pepper said that about Will Smith? Oh, he wasn't a thug. What? Who says that? So, you know, we talking about a lot right now, but I'm saying sometime you putting yourself in a position to really look like a simp. That's what my son to call him. I call him a cake boy when I was growing up. They was cake boys. But you like, yeah, bro, you setting yourself up for that. This woman don't like you. She probably talking about you, but you got bread. So what does that say about you? You know what I'm saying? What does that say about you? And now if you comfortable with that, now if you saying, hey, I ain't gonna get no woman this attractive unless I give her money, and you good with that, like you know it. But I think a lot of men that do it don't know it. Like they actually think whatever, ego driven, narcissist, whatever it is, they actually think it's something about them that this young lady is into them. And the majority of the time,
other than the money. And I will say, and again, I'm pro woman, but I've seen it happen. And it does happen. I've seen it happen where you have this extremely attractive woman with this man that nobody would ever look at.
Never.
And you're like, what?
Never.
And you know that they're only with them for the money. I think that's sad.
It's sad.
I don't think I'd want a relationship like that. If I have to buy the relationship, I don't want it. Because once the money's gone, then that person's gone. And then I think that my parents used to say, don't start something that you can't keep up. And I think that's where you're going. So when you meet people, if you're starting to shell out money, then that's what the relationship was built upon. That's the foundation of that relationship. And so, yes, there is an expectation that that's going to continue in the relationship. But I don't know that I'd want to be with somebody or have somebody be with me for my money. Not me. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather be by myself I just don't. That's just me. But there are a lot of people out there that are with people that are extremely attractive women that are with people with money that they don't like. They're just there for the bag and what the person can do for them. And you know what? We all know that happens. I think anybody that's on YouTube probably know at least one or two people personally that fits into that. And you're like, okay, but if they didn't have the money, they wouldn't be with them. So
it wouldn't be with them. And you know, at some point, because the Bible says what's done in darkness will come out in the light. You know what I'm saying? So that's my dad talking. But listen, so at some point, it's gonna come out, like because the emotions the blood's gonna be boiling. Y'all gonna been together, 2, 3 months, 4 months. You done met a couple of his fine friends, you know what I'm saying? He ugly, he got some dope friends, you know what I'm saying? Now you kind of in his circle, and people know you attractive, so you ain't really needing his clout no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is everybody, but some people are opportunists, but and it's gonna come out. He gonna say the wrong thing. He gonna want to come pick you up. He gonna want to, and you gonna be like, no, and he gonna be like, man, what's up? He gonna come at you sideways, and you gonna let him have, because the respect ain't never been there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So then you gonna let him have it. You gonna hurt his feelings. Whatever. I ain't really want to mess with you anyways. You just a trick. You just and now his feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? Now his feelings. I don't went on a date with your boyfriend anyway, and your brother was trying to get like. Everything's gonna come out because of the emotion.
I agree with that.
And then he gonna light up. He gonna light up, and it's gonna be a pride. He gonna put his hands on you. So,
I hope not. Now we need him to be free.
I can guarantee you a lot of that stuff that be happening to these celebrities be situations like that. You know what I'm saying? One of them will light up on each other. The truth to come out, and
then you know what's. So I will harp on this, and I know this did happen to, and this was years ago, but this happened to a lady that I knew personally, and she was a Caucasian lady, and but on the outside looking in, she had this perfect life. She was a stay-at-home mom. Her husband, they lived in a very affluent area. She drove whatever new car she wanted, whatever, and the next thing I know, she started, coming in the store. I worked there with black eyes and stuff like that. I'm like, what's going on here? And then come to find out, he was beating her. He was jumping on her. And she felt like, same thing. She was with him for the money. And then now he didn't really value her because you were only there for the money anyway. And so he started, abusing her. And she just poured out her heart to me. And she was like, and at that point I was going to college. And so she was like, you're in a better place than me because I don't even have an education. I have nothing to fall back on. And so she felt trapped and stuck. But she was drawn in by the money. And they had kids and all that. So it does happen. And so, once you let that play out, and that's the reason for being with somebody, and then now other things take precedence. Now you have a family, you're, all that kind of stuff. You've lost your whole identity. So you no longer have even the capability to provide for yourself. Now you're in the trick bag, as they say. Because what do? And not only are you can't even keep up the same type of lifestyle, even if you left.
And he knows
you don't have the tools to do it. And so I think and that was really sad, but it was a lesson for me. But my heart, that just made me think of that. And so, but she started out with him because of all the things he could do for her. The things he did, the things he provided, and I don't know if she was that into him, but because he was an attractive man, but I think that the money drew her in, which is the point that I was making. The money drew her in, and a lot of times people sell their soul for $1.
Man, which brings me to the other side of the 50-50. You know what I mean? Okay, we still on 50-50. That's where we was at. All right. So we talked about the whole, you're not feeling me, but it's money side. So the other thing I don't like about it is that how vulnerable, how vulnerable are you as a woman coming to a situation and you don't have any money? Like how vulnerable are you? Seriously, how vulnerable are you? Can't even the post I made today. So I had gotten into an argument with a guy, and he was saying, it was this. No, actually, the guy made the post. No, it was a girl. It doesn't matter. So the guy made 90.
I think he said it was a guy that made the initial post.
I think I was arguing with the guy. Yeah, but he didn't. The guy I was arguing with didn't make the initial post.
Oh, okay.
So he made a post and it said something to the effect that if I make 90K and my girl make 35K, am I wrong for making her go 50-50? So you know me, I see it a whole different way. So I just put on there, no, he's wrong for dating a woman that makes $35,000 a year. That's what I put on there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, bro, come on, what can we do with this, man? You can go to the gas station and make 40 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. So, and the dude is like, man. So the dude that responded, he's all like, man, you just don't understand. I take that all day. If I got a fine woman that ain't got no kids, that stay in the gym, that's home every day, like just all these unrealistic, whatever. Man, I take that all day. I'll make the money. She can sit at home.
But he doesn't though. He contradicted himself because if that was the case, then why are you making her go 50-50?
No, this was another guy saying he would do it. It's okay. Because I changed the narrative when I said he shouldn't date her at all. Then you wouldn't even have this problem. Because I think the rent was $3,500. It's like, if the rent $3,500, should they go half? And I said, dude, he shouldn't even be dating her. Like, why is he dating her and she make $35K? Like, why? And he's like, and then he said all that stuff. Like, man, you just don't understand. And I'll take a real woman all day. I said, bro, first of all, $35K. She got no kids, right? So no dependents. So Uncle Sam coming.
So they eating her check up.
Hey, I'm coming to get hit. Come on. Dab, you know how I think. I
didn't even think about it that way. So she's in the
35 done turned into 26 real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick.
Yo, 35 turned. I know high schoolers that's making 20 grand a year. So I'm like, so I said, bro, this ain't, you got to think legacy. I said, there's certain things that y'all won't be able to do because when y'all bring y'all money together, y'all can't afford it. Just think about it, investment wise. A lot of the stock market, a reason why a lot of us can't make money in the stock market is not you, but me, can't make money in the stock market. We ain't got enough money. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things they won't allow you to invest in because you don't clear enough money to invest in it. And they be great investments that you probably gonna make money on, but you can't get into it. You probably can't even get qualified for a mortgage in this 2 years. And all that. So I'm trying to get them to understand, like, bro, you got to think legacy. Like you think
longevity and
you think it right now, bro. Just so I mean,
I agree with that. But here's
so because there has to be a point where when all the money comes together, you know. And I was telling my friend this other night, I'm like, dude, in a relationship, the goal should be to bring both of us home.
Yeah,
that should be the goal. You know, and my homie Nicole Ashley, she was like, dude, I don't understand what you were saying. Why are women so okay with they men going out and making all this money? He can't spend no time with me. We can't go on no vacation. No, he can't get no days off. He's paying for everything. And then you want to wonder why men died 10 years earlier than men. I mean, than women. Y'all live 10 years longer. You know what I'm saying? So the 50-50, it just has to be worked on, dude. It has to be worked on. I think we got to be realistic about who we dating. You talking about you got, you know, daddy issues. You can't date. You need to find a babysitter. Okay, you might not be ready to date yet. Like, dude, you got, you know, separation issues. You might just go work on you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So, because I think it's a business deal, man. We talked about that back in the Bible days or whatever. As men, you gave your daughter to the person that had the most
whatever
offer, who could take care of her the best. I don't know why we get so offended by it now. You know what I'm saying? But it's always been that way. Like I want to give my daughters but they gonna have money. But I'm saying you want to back in the Bible days, they gave their daughters away to the men that had the cattle, that had the sheep, they got land, they got, you know, cows, whatever they got. Like they had some type of, you know, revenue that this young lady was walking into. So yeah, it did make sense for her to be at home. And just like in the early, you know, in the 60s and 70s and stuff, it did make sense for the woman to be at home because the guy could cover everything and still have money left over. But now you don't have that. You know, so from a standpoint of that being a woman, I would not want, if I was a woman, I would want to have my own money. That's just
yeah. I mean, I'm like that. Like I'm not ever going to solely depend on a man for anything. And that's just me. I'm just too independent for that.
Right.
Anything that he can do for me, I can do for myself. And that's where a lot of these young women are falling short because you want him to do A, B, C, D, but you can't do those things for yourself. And so for me, I can, if I want A, B, C, D, I can go and get it myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not dependent on a man to do any of that for me. And so I think that now in the case of the man making the 96,000 and the girl making the 36, if he's expecting for her to go in with half on a rent or something like that, I think that's wrong. I think if he's making the most, he pays the rent and she pays everything else, the food, the utilities, the whatever, but just make it make sense for them. Now, so that in that case, it may not be a 50-50, it may be like a 30-70, but still give her some responsibilities. Don't just say, well, okay, I make 96, you just keep yours in your pocket. Like, but I do think that may happen, may work out.
I think we get caught up because, you know, people just be wanting to argue. I think we get caught up on just the number 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, in totality, what I'm saying, you know, I mean, not with the going out on a date, no, because I need to know you want to be here too. You know what I'm saying? Because that says a lot to me when I'm going to pay and you, to me, I know a young lady is having a good time. And we talked about this when she'll pay. Cause it's like, if you pay, I know you're going to stay, you're going to enjoy yourself. You're like, hey, this one's on me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what that says to me. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm holding you hostage. Hey, let's go here. Hey, let's go. You don't even really want to go. So I got to pay. You know, you don't want to be there live. You don't want to go. I want you to, you know, you're not having fun. You know, you can go. You know what I'm saying? I just buy drinks for myself, you know? But I think when it comes to the home, yeah, that's understandable. But it's about just carrying your weight. Like you can't, you can't just and they get on me all the time. Oh, what you talk about? What only a broke man want to know what a woman brings to the table? No, I'm thinking legacy. I'm thinking business. Like, dude, we got.
I don't understand. As a woman, I mean, but I'm a woman who has my own.
Yeah.
So I don't think like that, right? I think that if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be asking what do they bring to the table. And I have the so for example, and I wasn't going to unpack this, but I am going to go here. So a couple things are standing out. Like with the younger generation, they and y'all don't come for me in my comments, but anyway, with the younger generation, they because I'm finna stomp on some toes, they feel like if they get a BBL, that gives them the entitlement to a high earning man, a quality man, or whatever the case may be, because you have a BBL. But every woman has butts and boobs. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look around at any woman, so my thing is, other than that, what are you bringing to the table? Exactly. What do you, other than that, what do you bring? And you bought that. So let's take that off the table. So what are you bringing to the table? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. So I'm a different type of breed when it comes to that. I don't feel like just because a woman has spent a lot on surgery that it now gives you access to that 600,000 a year or 300,000 and up figure man because you have a BBL, but you have no substance. You have nothing else. What's going to attract him to you? I believe in being the thing that you want to attract. If you say, oh, I want to be with this millionaire, okay, then you get your coins together. You hit millionaire status first, so then you can be the thing that you want to attract. And so that's how I live. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, I want to date a millionaire. I want a millionaire, but then I don't have my coins together. Like what are we doing?
Hey, you need to borrow some money.
You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Like I just feel like you need to be the thing that you say you want to attract.
Yeah, I think that ultimately, again, that we gotta, as men, we gotta take some ownership on that, because we tend to, and I think just at the beginning, you take ownership, because we kind of cater that, because we too, like I said, most of us are clowns. I'll stay in the clown category. Like I said, I'm the everyman, and I don't know, it might be a few women out there that think I'm a clown. That's fine. So, but I think that we start that. And then just like with anything else, when you with a person and you just having sex with them, at some point, like that person is going to become a headache if that's the only reason why you're there. Like y'all don't have fun together. Y'all don't talk. Y'all can't, share no deep conversations. Y'all can't talk about parenting, politics, whatever. Like when it just be that sex, which normally it is, he wants you for your body, you want him from your money. You know what I'm saying? But, and y'all both can probably get another person, you know what I'm saying? But at some point, if he's a businessman, his money is probably going to stay coming. But at some point, your shelf life, you know what I'm saying?
It's going to expire. I wonder how these people who, when they hit their 50 and 60s, are going to look with these BBLs.
Oh, I got a picture. I'm going to send it to you. Let me see if I can find it.
I was like, what the hell are they gonna look as grandmas? But yeah, they may get it reversed by then. But I happen to think that if you say that you want whatever type man or woman. So if you're a man that's saying you want this woman that has all of whatever, then you need to be whatever it is that you say that you want. And so, it's the law of attraction, the basic law of attraction. Be the thing that you say you want to attract.
Exactly. And I think we gotta, like, I don't know, I guess I just be around younger women more. But you come to the table just ratchet from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to, like, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just trying to put myself in a position. Like I've seen, like I've met chicks and like, dude, that same night they hit me up, hey, you got some coke? And I'm just like, what? Like, what is going on? And so it's like, dude, it's you got to present yourself in a certain light. And I think that, I think that they try to sell themselves with the BBLs. And don't get me wrong, you have a mommy makeover, you done had 3-4 kids.
Right.
That I think that's your responsibility. I would imagine you want to get your body back and your boob, whatever. Right. I had nothing against that, but you know, when you do it and then go get an Instagram page and act like you've been in the gym
or an OnlyFans, so and that's where I'm going to though. I agree with anybody doing anything that makes them feel good about themselves. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, so I have nothing against the BBLs, the mommy makeovers, the weight loss surgery. I don't have anything against that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you're doing that solely to attract men or feel like, okay, I'm going to go and get this, and now because I have this, that I have to have a man, or I'm not required, but what is the word that now your expectation is that the man you're gonna get is $100,000 and up, $300,000 man a year, figure man, a high quality man, because that gives you access to that because you have a BBL. Those are the people that I'm talking about, because it doesn't. It's so many people getting BBLs that it's just, yeah. And most of them don't look right anyway.
They look weird, dude.
They do.
It's like two pimples with a bowling ball on top of it. Like, and like I say, it don't. I mean, I get it. Like you said, if you want to look good for you, look good for you. But I can tell you right now, when your clothes come up, whatever you got, if the man is interested, when your clothes come up, whatever you got, it's hammer time. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it like that. It's hammer time. So it's hammer time. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
It is what it is. But I do.
Your self-esteem and your insecurities fine. But I promise you, you ain't. I mean, you're probably just getting a whole lot of attention that you probably gonna complain about. I'm getting tired of losing my DM. I'm getting tired of every time I go somewhere, somebody trying to get my number. I mean, well, you bought a whole body. Like, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you can't complain, but you know.
No, and then, but yeah, it's interesting that, and I didn't until I actually witnessed that for myself. I'm like, oh, they think because they have a BBL that now they're entitled to the $1 million earners, or oh, I didn't realize that that's how that was supposed to work. But anywho, so why, in your opinion, as a man? Why do you think? So, like I said, I'm a little seasoned woman, right?
Me too.
And now I happen to. I'm sorry. What was that?
I said I'm seasoned too, Lowry's. I got the season going on. You see the gray?
Well, I don't really have gray, but you know, I am seasoned. Are you really using that? You know what? I can't with you. So I will ask this now that I find myself, unfortunately, back on the market after the death of my husband. I'm finding that the men who are 40 and up are now looking for women who are under 40, 20 and 30. So like, they're not looking at the seasoned woman that's in her 40s, 50s, possibly even 60s. They're not looking at anybody that's around their age. They're looking at the younger women now, the 20-year-old, more 20 than 30, maybe 20s, early 30 possibly, depending on the age of the man. But why is that? Why do you think that the man is not? So if you're 40, why is it that you're looking for somebody that's 20?
You asking me personally, because I've been
not you personally. I'm just saying, why is it that men are? I've been going through a midlife
crisis for I've been going through a midlife crisis for like the last 15 years. So I don't. Before I was midlife, I was already in the crisis. So no, I mean, I think it could be a plethora of reasons. I mean, it's you know, the younger women. I mean, they fun. You know what I'm saying? They are fun. They probably got less responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it just, and then, you know, one thing I thought about earlier, you know, just thinking about it is that, you know, some of these men are, you know, like me, I guess, you know, you've been through that, you know, 12, 13-year marriage, you know, been with that same woman for, you know, 16, 17 years. And, you got the freedom, and it's like, and you know, you just out here, like you're just literally out here. And I've had those moments, you know, thank God that that stage is over, but I've had those moments where you just out here. And but on the flip side though, these men that you're speaking of can get these younger women though.
Right. Not that they can't.
So I don't know who's really benefiting. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously the man is more stable, probably ain't got a lot of the drama going on that, you know, I've met young women, you know, 24, 25, and their baby daddy is off trying to be a rapper somewhere. He don't work. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't, like she's single mom in it. You know, he comes home whenever, you know, so it just, I think it depends on what they need versus what, you know, that guy can provide. I still think you at square one. There's a push pull. Somebody can provide something that you can't, you know, that you need, you know, but then sometimes it's just, I think the conversation is cool too, because you get a lot of these younger women that are still, you know, they still have the butterflies in life. They ain't really been through a whole lot yet, so they're still optimistic.
I think that's really why they're doing
it. I think that they're optimistic, and you know, and you know, a lot of the older women. I won't say
watch it. Choose your words wisely.
I ain't gonna say older, but I will say a lot of the older than like 30-ish women around in that age, like they once you start getting to that 30 to 35 range, they just, to them it's like either we're getting married or not. Like I know what this meant, but I'm saying, so you feel that pressure, but the younger women, you don't really feel that pressure from the younger women, but those that 30-ish range in there, and they like, hey, I want to have another kid, or you know, I'm ready to get married. Like no hookups. I'm getting tired of you asking me what you doing. You know, what is it, WYD? I'm getting tired of you asking me what you doing. I need a stimulating conversation. Like they just need all this stuff. These young women, they don't want nothing but some Casamigos. And a section, maybe. You know, they need some Casamigos and some bundles. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
And lashes.
That's it, and some lashes. That's all they. I mean,
I agree with that though. I think
I got you. I'll get your lashes. Go ahead. Go get you some lashes.
I think and I think it may even be that the older woman, from what I heard, is set in their ways.
Yeah, that too.
And that they've
seen it all. Like you've seen it all. You know, you've seen it all. You know, I think I'm one of those people, you know, because I had a friend that was like, dude, you don't think you're too old to be going out? I don't think I'll ever be too old to go out somewhere. Like that's just me. I don't think, even if I gotta have me a little bar at my house and invite people over, I think I'm a people person.
You like the interaction.
Yeah, I like to mingle. I like to meet new people. I like to laugh. Like I got a friend, we'll go out and both of us will just die laughing at everything around us, like all night. Like that's just it. You know what I'm saying? Like we just straight people watching, talking about people's shoes, haircut, outfit, like they whole swag all night. Like we come there laughing, leave there laughing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a great time. So I just feel like that. I don't think I'll ever outgrow that. So to meet somebody that's like on this mature kick, or we don't do that no more, or that's for little boys. Like I already know I'm not gonna mesh with a person like that. I already know.
Yeah. And I think because I did hear that men were saying that the women that are the older women they are set in their ways, and that they want everything their way. It's their way to highway and that kind of stuff. And so so I was like, why is it? So so when you see an older woman with a younger man, that's oftentimes why, because the men that are her age they're not checking for her. They're checking for the women that are younger, which now leads her, if she can get a younger man, to date younger as well. And then, to be young, we got somebody saying, we got
that's my guy,
baggage. Okay.
Hey, he got his own pocket.
Says that it's less baggage, not instead of the ways.
I will give him the adventurous part.
Okay.
I'll give him the adventurous
now,
part.
do they really see the older guy through much clean? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna refute that. Now, do a woman in their 30s really see the older guys through much clearer lenses, or are they viewing them from a lens with less experience?
Ooh, John, what you got to say about that? JPA.
Let's wake it up, John. What's good? What's good, John? What's good? Talk to me. What's good?
He got a podcast. Yeah, tell him to weigh in. He got a
podcast. Now, I do agree with that. Most older women have let themselves go. Y'all don't come for me in these comments. I love y'all. I am y'all. Don't come for a sister in these comments. But he's right. I think that, and here's my thing.
I ain't saying nothing. You ain't canceling me. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna say it. I can speak for the woman, right? I'm a woman. I'm an older woman. Although most people don't think I look my age, but I am an older woman, and so he's absolutely right. I will say, when I got divorced, that was the thing that I looked at. Like, you got to know, if you're dating or if you're trying to get out there, you're not in competition, but you're in competition.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't set yourself up to be in competition, but by default, you're in competition with the bad bees out there, right? So what you looking like? And so I agree with this comment, John. And ladies, don't kill the messenger, but I do agree. I think that most older women have physically let themselves go. Now, some men have too, because I'm gonna wake that up, John. Thank you for saying that, but let me wake it up on the men's side. So for me, like I said, I'm a little seasoned. And the men that are my age look older than I do. So the men have let themselves go too, John.
Listen, I'm fighting that dad body with I went to the gym today, ran like 4 miles, did some weightlifting. I mean, I ain't giving up. Forget that.
Yeah. I am, Mom. I am more conscious, and I'm glad he did mention that, because that's true. And then, the women are sitting at home and they're not dating. They're wondering why they can't find anybody. Well, you let yourself go. Like, what are you really looking like? Like, are you, you know what I'm saying? How are you presenting yourself when you walk out? How are you presenting yourself? But like I said, though, and I wasn't going to tell my age, but I'm going to go, I shouldn't tell my age. I should let the people think about my age, right? I'm not going to tell
let them guess and tell them on the next show.
That's right, guys. Guess what you think my age is. But I will say, because I'm thinking that, like, the men that are my age have also let themselves go, and they don't look like they looked before. And so I get what you guys are saying.
I feel like you got somebody in mind over there.
Me?
Yeah, you.
It's a lot of people. Like, okay, like,
specific.
The people. You got jokes, but the people. I'll just say it this way. I'll put it in this context. So let's say the people that you went to high school with, right? So those people that you went to high school with, when you meet back up with them on Facebook, you be like, oh my God, like, I can't believe that's so-and-so. So either you have the ones that either look better than they did in high school, or you have the ones that look, that's a tragedy. So I think that I do agree with that. So now I'm in my, I was about to tell my age. I almost did. You almost got me. I'm not going to do it. But I'm over 40. I will say that. But yeah, so the men that are my age don't, I'm like, oh, no. I get it.
What's crazy though, too, is like, just being able to do it. I think just being as a woman, because most of y'all don't want none of us anyways, but y'all like the attention, you know what I'm saying? So just being able to be fit and look good and go out and turn guys down. I mean, that's got to be like feeding y'all egos some kind of way.
You think that's what it is?
I mean,
because I think you're trying to be funny.
I'm saying
you're tap dancing on my toes here because I go out somewhere and not that I'm purposely looking for attention, or I might make a post or go out somewhere and then I get the attention. I'm like, okay, why are they doing ABCD? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that you're absolutely right about that. It's just like, but now if you weren't getting any attention, then you'd be mad.
You'd be mad. Yeah, you mad.
So you're mad because you're getting attention, and then you're mad because you're not. Like, yeah, that does make sense. And John said that they're looking lens with less experience. Absolutely. I don't think it's when you're younger, it's not clear. What you think you want, you find out that that's not what you wanted. So I don't know. That's why I said, are the lens clearer, or is there just lack of experience within the lens? Because when you're younger, you think you know what you want in a mate, but you don't until life slaps you around and punch you in the throat and kicks you and a couple times, and you get in some bad relationships and deal with some people that you be like, okay, I'm never doing that again. Then that's when that experience comes in. So I think that with the younger woman, they have less experience, and so they don't have that stereotypical box to put them in. They're not holding you to that because they don't relate to that. And half of them probably don't even know what that is. Exactly. They probably don't, what that stereotypical thing is. So John says that he agreed, but women aren't ridiculed for wanting a man who keeps his appearance up. That's true. Men are judged for wanting the woman. Oh, he married. For wanting the woman he married, a woman with the tight body, and a woman who hit the gym hard. I agree with that. I think that's true, because you see more. That's true. I will agree with that, because most men aren't really. Well, I don't know. John.
What is he? So what is he
saying?
I'm
on the fence, John, because now with BBLs,
he's saying most women are ridiculed for wanting a man who keeps his appearance up.
Right. Yeah. They're not.
Yeah. No, I got you.
But he's saying, but men are judged
when the tables
right. I agree with that, but I don't. So I'm 50-50. Here's why. Because in the land of BBLs, the men are now projecting those bodies on natural women and wanting us to look like the BBL woman.
I think it depends on the circle you're in. I think because it's some natural women out there that's still. I mean, they still killing the game, in my opinion. I mean, there are. I still think the natural woman is still the cellulite, or you go to the gym and you got the nice tight. I still think that's number one. Now, I mean, Don't get me wrong. Like it's. I mean, we're men. Like it all looks good at some point. You drink enough Hennessy, it's gonna all look good. They gonna all look good. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't think that, I think for men, it is, we have to do it the right way. I feel like everybody should do it the right way, but I feel like mostly the majority of men really have to do it the right way.
There's because what do y'all get? Most men don't get the cosmetic surgeries or the quick.
No, they've been getting them. You didn't see the rapper that got the 6-pack, and then he got he got like a whole 6-pack down there. Yeah. So this out there, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that, and he was saying he said he got more women. Even him having money, he wasn't getting the type of women he wanted until he got the 6-pack. I forget the dude's name, and then he like, man, I just did it because for the women. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have those people out there, but I think the majority of the men, first of all, unless it's done real terrible, you can't really tell. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be like super terrible, or it's got to be too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be too much.
Most of the times, it's too much, though. I don't think. I wonder why it's so much, though, because like the butts look unnatural, like the shape, and everybody has a clone butt.
Yeah, like who signed off on that? Like, I don't know who signed off on them being able to do.
I mean, everybody's butt look the same. Like it has the same shape. So I don't. It's cloned, but at least with the natural woman, you're getting the different body styles, types. But I do think that now men are starting to hold us natural women to that stereotype of the BBL woman.
I don't know. Maybe
you don't think so?
Where you at? North Carolina?
You don't think so?
The thing about
I'm just saying in general, though.
No, I think the thing about Texas is that you first of all, these folks down here, they eat like everybody, the men and the women. They gonna find them some barbecue, some whatever burger. Like they eat down here. So it's the body thing is you really unless that chick is like into sports or maybe she just has her own personal goals. Most of the time, her shape is going to be kind of busted. I can't even lie. For real. That's what I've run into since I've been here.
Her shape is what?
It's busted. Busted.
Okay. Like a can of biscuits.
All that. Unless she young, really. Like the older you get, they get more busted. They ain't gonna have me on this show for long. I can already tell right now. They ain't gonna have me on this show for long. That's fine. But
it is what it is. The truth. The truth is a light.
They'd be busted. Even I ain't even gonna lie, dude. I ain't even gonna lie. Even the ones I know that got like the butt surgeries, they stomachs still be big as dirt. Like they ain't even getting the concept of what's going on. Like, it's irritating. I feel like it's a waste of time. Like you still got a whole honey bun under your shirt. Like, what you gonna do about that?
Like somebody said, they got a butt in the front and the back.
Yeah, like you're not even doing it right. That's why you shouldn't even do it. Like if you know you're not going to the gym, I just think it's stupid. But
what ends up happening, and although we're being facetious, but what ends up happening is they keep going under the knife again and again and again. As opposed to maintaining it, which is what happened in a lot of cases where people have lost their life. So they get the BBLs and they get their the lipo in their stomach or the 360 to whatever makeover, and then instead of them going to the gym to maintain it, then when they gain it again, they're looking to go back under the knife, and so a lot of people have lost their lives that way. Unfortunately,
that is unfortunate, but I dare to say this. I don't know how long we going tonight, but I'm gonna just throw this out here because
I'm on whatever you on.
I'm gonna just throw this out here because I'm me. But I think the women that are in that industry, that are in that circle, are doing it to compete with other women. I don't think it got nothing to do with it. I don't think the man has anything to do with it. I promise you I don't. Because remember I told you we was talking about trap queens and that that the whole injection thing started in the gay male community. That's where it started at. So this wasn't even something that women was doing. It was like this was, the male community, gay males was getting the, they wanted the, whatever, the donkeys, whatever. That's fine. Right. That's whatever they need. I ain't, this ain't a shot at nobody, but I think that because one thing y'all do, y'all be having like that little silent jealousy. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, if she can do it, then I'm about to go do it then because I now know I look better than her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people, y'all are in silent competition.
I will say some women are.
I think the rap industry women are. That's what I'm saying.
They are. That whole video vixen type thing. Because I think when it comes to me, I am the only woman I'm in competition with is myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just am, So I think that, but definitely the people that are in the industry that are, but now it does take a lot of confidence in who you are as a woman.
Exactly. It takes a lot of confidence, and also too, you gotta. I mean, it's like, what are you trying to gain?
Right.
Like what are you really trying to gain, dude? Because my thing is this: if I'm a woman and you don't want to date me because my booty is little, like just think about that. Like think about how shallow that is. Like so I'm gonna go get a whole surgery just so you can.
And you may or may not date me or wife me.
Yeah, you still may not like me. So it's like, what are we really doing? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because the BBLs don't have anything to do with your face. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? I said that.
Yeah, you still ugly. That's you still gotta you gotta work on the front part now. Dude. You got the back.
You know what I'm saying? You got the BBL, but
figure it out. What about the front? Yeah. I don't know.
I do think I do agree with that. I think a lot of people have allowed the Instagram models to influence what that ideal body type is like now for some people. And so
But we don't have to, just because they selling it don't mean you gotta buy it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Just because they selling it, you don't gotta buy it. Like now, like what you said, you know, if you got some stuff that you're trying to do and you know, you just want to, you know, whatever, you trying to do some stuff to your body, you know, you done had kids, whatever, that's fine. So, but I don't, just because they selling it, because I ain't gonna lie, some of the, like when you see a woman that's good, like I just take her for what she has. You know what I'm saying? Like that, whatever package she brings. So it's like because initially you see looks, but then you start to get and unpack the mind, and you're like, dude, this it ain't nothing in there. Like the injections, like I told you, injections done got in her bloodstream. It ain't nothing upstairs.
What?
Injections and cleaned out all her scruples.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But that is true though, because what draws you in is the outer. And then, you know, you start having a conversation with the person, and then you find out whether or not, you know, what their intellect is, what their core values is, if you know, if they have any, and that kind of stuff. So I agree with you. So even though you go and you get all the surgery, there's no guarantee that the person is even gonna like who you are past that.
And then it's gonna be dumb if you don't like it. So you back at square one.
That's true too. That's true too. And I think,
and then people don't understand, like they're doctors, and you know, they call it a practice for a reason. They're practicing on you. That's what the word practice come from. This is a practice. We don't really, you know, we don't know how this is gonna turn out, but this is what normally happens when somebody come lay on this table. But it's a practice. Everybody's body is different. Some of us allergic to different things, and we, you know, we have reactions to different things. So you don't really know what's going on. It ain't that serious.
And and most of them don't find out until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Now you're on the table, they cut you open, and now you're allergic to whatever it is. And then some of the people in some of the countries are not even board certified.
No, they're not. They're not even using sterile material, and it's sad, man. I hate it. I hate it because it becomes like that culture drives Black culture, and I hate that for us as a people. You know what I'm saying? Just like the rap culture, it drives me as a Black man. So when people don't see, if I don't respond like a rapper, then I always get, oh, you act like a white guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate that culture, that rap culture has bleeded over to the Black community, and now all of a sudden we have to be this type of man, or this girl has to look like a Nicki Minaj, or you know what I'm saying? I used to think Rihanna was so dope, this cute, small frame. You know, she didn't start having kids now, but like when she first hit the scene, even Sierra but
you know what's funny though? Beyonce hasn't done any of the surgeries.
Yeah, at all.
None.
No, and I think her, even Kelly, like I don't know if but that small frame is, they act like it's.
And Beyonce has a nice figure. She's always had a nice figure. Yeah. And so I was like, you know, that says something. That says a lot about her, that she has not bought into that stereotype.
But they don't. I think they sell you a lot of stuff that they ain't gonna. That's like that post I made about Tory Lanez. Like, bro, you just supposed to pretend to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't learn nothing from Rick Ross. You supposed to pretend, bro. This ain't real life. You can't be shooting folks in the pinky toe. Like that was just a movie. That was just a movie.
Yeah, that was Harlem Nights, right?
Yeah, Harlem Nights. You can't really shoot people in the pinky toe. That's just, you can't really do that. That's not.
And get away with it, right?
Yeah, man,
so I know we were talking about dating men with money and where you find them in, and all of that, and dating the women and that kind of stuff. So this whole Tiger Woods thing.
Oh God, I'm still that's still my hot button issue right there.
I know. So we have to wait that up. So Tiger Woods, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he dated a woman from who was a manager at Applebee's and moved her in, and she got mad and sued him or something because he was putting her out or something like that?
Yeah. So okay, so I started the Applebee's thing. It wasn't really Applebee's. I don't know where it was. It wasn't Applebee's. It was just, I don't know if it was something that he owned. I think it was a restaurant that he owned.
It was a restaurant though, yeah. It wasn't okay. I knew it was a restaurant because I remember.
I was initially upset because he's worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
So this almost goes back to our initial conversation. And this is what happens. This is right here is what happens when you start this relationship off like this. Now, granted, ain't nothing came out. She probably won't win, but what if she did? You know, she tried to sell for 33 million. What if she did win? Like, that changes the game right there. I almost wish she would have won just so, you know, they can stop doing this. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it irritated me because he was messing with the girl for one. Like, she ain't on your level. You know what I'm saying? You billionaire, she managed a restaurant. It just, clearly, you just, whatever you can find. The closest thing to your house must have been what you was going for.
He may have Googled restaurants near me.
That's what he was just going for, the closest. I mean, you talking about low-hanging fruit. He was just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened, I guess he was breaking up with her. So he got the car and he sent her to the airport. He said, I'm going to send you on vacation. So he sent her on vacation to the airport. And I guess when the driver got there, I guess the driver told her, hey, you know, basically, don't call him, he'll call you. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it was. You know what I'm saying? Don't call him. You know what I'm saying? The locks is changed all the locks and stuff on the door. So people were mad at Tiger Woods though, because of how he did it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know,
why? Because he had to give her time. He had to. You know, he didn't legally evict her.
Nah, she was living with him. Yeah, probably that too. So you thinking that level, but they were thinking on a level of, hey, he could have just had a conversation with her. He could have just been up front. And why you gotta lie? And I want you just tell the truth.
You know what? Like we talked about the Tory Lanez thing, though. Yeah, there's a reason he did it the way that he did it, and he might have said, if I have this conversation with her, she's gonna call the police. She's gonna say I beat her up, slapped her around. Now I'm going to jail. I'm a public figure. She's a burger flipper. So I agree with the way that he did it, because the way that he did it, he had to do it that way.
And that was my thing. Now, everybody, of course, you know, everybody's got a problem with the way I say it. But I'm like, dude, I have been at these I've been at these quote unquote closure. I just need closure breakups.
Right.
Usually somebody's getting hit, slapped, kicked, or getting bust out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And I don't have $1 billion, man. You know what I'm saying? I make about 45 a year, you know what I'm saying? I'm writing that here. You know what I'm saying? I'm broke. I ain't got all that money. So, you know, he's talking about, like, you know, they're all mad because he did it. I am in full support because, like you said, it could have been a Tory Lanez situation.
Or what's the other guy that played in Apollo Creed, the last one? Where the lady said that you know what I'm saying? So you can't be mad at how a person protects themselves, and they're doing it in their best interest. And then to your point, when somebody says they want closure, for what? We're done.
I don't know what we close.
Why? We don't. What are we discussing? Like, why? And then why do we need to meet in face to face, person to person? You can text me that. You can send a pigeon. Like, we don't. That's not a I need to see you conversation.
And I think I think you gotta, again, we talking about energy. Like you gotta see that coming. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see that coming. Like you can't like maybe we've been fighting for the last month, 2 months. Stuff ain't really the same. He don't really, when I get home, he don't kiss me or hug me. He don't even come out the room. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta feel that kind of vibe coming. Oh, you walk past her in the kitchen, don't even slap her on the butt. Like something is going on around here, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if obviously her feelings hurt, but then she went on to try to sue him, which is even more insult to injury, because had that woman had the type of money he had or anywhere close, she probably was like, man, whatever. I'm out of it. Why waste my time with this dude? But now you want to hurt his pockets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you want to hurt his pockets and be petty about it. You know, this is the thing. If you're going to date somebody for the money, at least put yourself on. At least. Start you a business.
Yeah. I don't know. But normally it doesn't happen that way. And that's what I was going to say. That's how you could tell she was after his money, because when he put her out, that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to sue you. Just pack up your stuff and get out of this man's house. Like, what are we doing? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Why are you suing me because I put you out of my house? Like, this is my house.
Dude, you can't. You seen what his wife did. So his ex-wife. You seen what she did. Like Tiger Woods was. You seen that his mug shot, looking like a deer in the headlights and stuff, looking crazy. So Maria, what's up? And so he was already messed. She done broke out the windows. Dude was in the bathroom hiding. You know what I'm saying? So you not like you can't afford to have another one of those on your record. So he sent their packing.
No.
And he should have, because like you said, it could have been a Tory Lanez situation. He could have put his hands on that girl and it could have been a whole different story. And there wasn't no camera. So it would have been his word against hers. He probably would have lost.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you another celebrity taking advantage. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what else do you do? But I think people just don't, they're so offended by, I think they think men are just so doggish and reckless. They think that way until they realize we actually thought something through. And then now they're offended now. You know what I'm saying? First, oh yeah, he's stupid. I'm ahead of him. He don't know that I know. But then when you realize that he's actually ahead of you, now you offended because you let this idiot get ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? Now you're real mad.
Now I gotta agree with that, ladies. I gotta agree with what he's saying. That's you spitting some truth there. I think because you were up on. I agree with that. But I do think that he did it the way that he had to do it. But to your point, okay, you were with this man for however long you were with him. You should have been putting yourself on or stashing some coins. Or he buying you something, take it back, get the money back. I mean, anything. You know what I'm saying? Take it back for the cash, like anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's gonna probably ask her where's that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Return it and be like, okay, let me just get the cash. But I think that because she should have had she had her own place, then that wouldn't have even been an issue. Because she'd have left him and went back to her house, wherever that was.
Yeah, I mean, she'd have been better off writing a book or something, dude. Like, women can write books.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
or maybe she can't.
Everyone on this country, in the United States, can write a book right now. I guarantee every last one of y'all can. And the ones that have been around here with celebrities and all that stuff, they can really write.
Yeah, she could have did a tell-all.
Yeah, she could have did a tell-all. They would have. I mean, you got the clout now. You probably would have had your 15 minutes of fame, but she could have did a couple different shows.
Yeah, she could have. She could have done some. Yeah,
because Tiger still got enemies. So
he does. He might not have any game left, but he got enemies.
Yeah, he'll be all right, man. He just,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he'll bounce back.
Luckily, golf is one of those games you could literally play until you die. Really, as long as you got the strength, you really can. Because it's not like basketball, nothing like that. It's not physical. It's not like football or baseball. So,
right.
He might figure it out, man. I mean.
Well, I hope he does. I hope he figures it out before he loses the rest of his hairline.
Dude, you got billions. Go get you a fade, homeboy. Go get you some implants. Take it off your face. Put it on your joint. how they doing it right now?
He's looking older and older. I'm like, why? Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, what happened to Tiger? You're not tigering anymore. But we have a last topic that we'll cover before we hop off. We're running at almost 2 hours. So guys, thank you for joining us for our first episode. And if you guys like what you heard, please go ahead and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so that when we come back for episode 2, you guys will get notified. So you spoke on something that I wanted to touch on before we hopped off, I say this all the time, and people are like, no, I don't feel like nobody's on, not on my level or whatever. I happen to personally believe that there are different levels of people and people you can date. And there are different levels of people who are outside of the people that you can date, right? Realistically. Now, and that's why I was kind of going like with the BBLs people. They don't feel like anybody's outside of, not on their level, like outside of their level, because they have the BBLs is what I'm finding out, right? Yeah. But the reality of it is if you got a BBL and your bank account is sitting on 0, you're not on their level. Like you're just not. You know what I'm saying? You don't own a home. You don't have no business about yourself. You're none of that. You're not on that 6-figure man and up level. You're just not. I mean, what are y'all gonna talk about?
Not for a long time. You're not for a long time. I mean, but again,
I don't think they're at all. Now he might play with you, but I don't think you're on his level.
I think definitely there's a flavor of the month once you get to that level. You know what I'm saying? I've seen friends and people that operate like that, and I've known friends that are like side chicks and stuff like that to celebrity people.
Wow.
But it's not, it's just a flavor of the month. You down with it as long as you stay in your lane. And then once you start coming out your lane, then you're done. And then he's on to the next one. So I really wish that I really wish it was. But the thing about it is that there's still a market for it. I will give them that. There's a market for it, but it's just getting saturated. Yeah. And you got to the point now where you're just getting passed around. Like a lot of these people are just messing with the same girl. The girls are just.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like the Lori Harvey.
Yeah, Lori. Yeah.
Like Lori Harvey. Yeah.
Now she's different. I say she's different because I think that
she's doing the choosing.
I think she's doing the choosing, and that's she's probably. And I can't say that about no other woman. And I know women think, oh, we do the choosing, whatever. But I feel like to me, she might maybe be doing the choosing. And she definitely fine.
She's definitely choosing. She's the one out there choosing, and she probably already has her next mark. If Jameson, Idris Jameson, whatever his name is, if he acts up, she probably already has her next mark. But the way that she's moving, she's hitting every target. So she's choosing.
She got some that's in the chamber waiting to get. they by the phone waiting to get chose at this point.
Like, put me in, coach. So I think that because oftentimes if she wasn't in the driver's seat and she did get a lot of backlash from women because of how she's dating and all of that. But that is what it is. She's dating. It's not like she's married and she's cheating on her husband with 50 million different people. She's dating. So she decided that this man is not, who she wants to date anymore. She's moved on to the next person and she's free to do that. So I don't necessarily find anything wrong with what she's saying.
The only thing I would say about these women that's got a problem with it is that you just better hope she don't want your man. That's all I gotta say.
What? I don't think she didn't want the average Joe, though.
I'm just saying that whoever got something to say about her, you might
just be happy that she don't want their man.
Just text it to your friend or your mama or your whoever. But don't be getting on Twitter talking because your man might be next. That's all I'm saying. And she
because she's I think she's probably the only woman I know who's 100% for her mark. Like if she decides whoever she wants, she gets. Like
and
I don't.
She has that she has the class. Like I think she's classy in my opinion. Like
she does not carry
the balls, and she got all the galas, and she's got the dresses, and she looks like she's like the CEO of a bank somewhere. Like that's how I know she's choosing, because she can jump out of that celebrity. She can jump out of a celebrity situation to a medical doctor, to a high value look. Like she could do that, and she carries herself like she can do that. Like
that's a great point.
Yeah, she does. That's why I know that she is in the driver's seat, and
and what else I like though too? I like the fact that when she's moved on, she's moved on. She's not bashing the man. She's not trying to do a tell all nothing. Like you just hear whatever you hear. She doesn't even bother to correct, whatever it is that's out there. Like she don't care. She gives zero else.
I think
she don't care.
I think she's just a free spirit, and I kind of connect with that, because you like, dude, there's some days you want to be tied down, and then there's other days where it's like, hey, I'm happy that I'm not. Because you have so many things to deal with. And then, growing as a person, you have so many emotions, and unfortunately you can't always tell that person you with everything you feel, because especially with me, because I change so much. So a lot of things I keep bottled in, because I might feel like this tonight, and tomorrow we might talk, and I might, well, you know what, I don't feel that way no more. But you're still stuck in today. But I think that she's definitely choosing. I'm a fan. And we can talk about it next time. But what I'll say is she got a lot of bodies, and I'm okay with it.
But you know what though? A lot of people have a lot of bodies, right? But they're probably just not. It's not publicized.
Right, exactly. But I'm saying? I'm all for it, man. I know you see some podcasts and they talking about, a woman having too many bodies and stuff. I'm all for it, man. As long as it wasn't all the homies in the same clique, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm for it. But I think that, you don't know what you want. It's hard to really just pinpoint yourself to one category. And I would hate for a young lady to get with me and then want something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather,
because you were the second person that she dated.
Because I was number 2, and this is the way I've been doing it for so long. And you don't really, because now that your curiosity is going, you don't really, and I think that has got to be the worst feeling, to be in love with somebody who's like sexually not delivering. Like, that's got to be frustrating. Oh my God, that's got to be frustrating. Thank God I've never had to deal with it ever in my life, but I've heard stories. I've heard stories, and my heart.
I'm just gonna keep mine to myself, but it does happen.
My heart goes out to all of y'all out there in TV world, and if you're dealing with it,
YouTube land.
I'm praying for you. I'm praying your strength. I am praying, because that's got to be oh my God.
Yeah.
That's I don't even know what to say about that, because you finally find somebody, a man that actually wants to settle down. He already a unicorn. And then it's trash. Like, bro, no.
Yeah. And I think that to your point, you don't know what you want until you know what you want. And I think that she probably will settle down and get married, but I think that she wants to find the right one. And I do commend her though for going through this phase before getting married.
I do too. Oh yeah, I said that too. Because and honestly, in my opinion, I think Michael B. Jordan is the one. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the one, but what most people don't understand,
he's not the right one right now.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like I've met the one that I want to spend the rest of my life with. But it's like both parties have to be ready. Like, you can't, just because you're ready don't mean she's ready, and vice versa. Like, I think that he will probably be number one, because the dude, he's real cool, he's real mellow. He's a man's man, but you can tell he still has that softer side that women need. So I think he's a cool guy, dude. I don't see him trying to be a wannabe thug. He seems to be very educated. He carries himself well. You know what I'm saying? From all, like, it seems like on the outside he does take care of business.
Right.
But I mean,
hopefully he's still on the market though when she's ready. That's the thing about it, is he may or may not be on the market.
He may not be on the market, but she the one for him too. He just go. He got to move on. He ain't got nothing else to do. He got to move on. He ain't got nothing else to do. Like, what does he do? She said no. So he got to continue to live his life. But I think that, but I do, like you said, I commend her for not, walking down the aisle or doing a Kim Kardashian, being married for 36 hours or 45 days or whatever. Like, I'm glad she was like, nah, I can't.
I don't want to do that. I'm not ready.
I don't want to do it quite just yet. And
then, but a lot of people would have saved a lot of heartache though had they made the decision that she made.
That she made.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who are currently divorced, had they made the decision Lori Harvey made and said, "Hey, I'm just not ready," so I'm not going to do it. But most people get into the marriage and then they F it up and now they're divorced and, that kind of stuff. So I'm happy that she did that too.
I wouldn't let her go though. I'd be like, okay, babe, I proposed to you. You said no. All right, cool. Let's just keep doing what we're doing.
Don't sound like she wanted to do that though.
I don't think she was ready to go. I think to me, he probably was like, because
it was an ego boost to him.
Yeah,
an ego buster.
Yeah, I would imagine his feelings. Or he probably was like, you know what, because, dude, I'm too much in love with you. Like, we can't.
If we aren't getting married, we can't be together.
Like, I ain't. He probably hit it with the, my clock is ticking. Whatever y'all be saying to us. My clock is ticking. I'm getting older. I need to have a kid, and whatever y'all be saying. I don't know. I don't be listening.
That's crazy.
I don't listen.
Man, well, I greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in to our very first episode of the Wind Down with World.
Bro, we talked for 2 hours. We both done
101 TV. Yeah, we went 2 hours on this, and so thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned, hit that notification bell so that you guys can get notified when we upload new content. As for me, I'm out, but y'all can always catch me in these YouTube streets.